Hello everyone, Desslok Command Cruiser. I sanded the bad spots down on it, and then I hit them with Mr. Surfacer. What I'm dealing with here are very small, fine fill lines, and I quit experimenting. I just started slapping the Mr. Surfacer everywhere. I don't have any Mr. Dissolve putty yet. It's still on back order. I'll have it within a week or two. But you can see I hit everything pretty hard with that Mr. Surfacer, except for the areas that passed the silver test. My test with the silver paint, like the front of the nose right here, that passed with flying colors, so I didn't bother it. Alright, oops, I should hit this seam. I can see it in the light now, but you know, I will hit it in a little bit. I've also done the Mr. Surfacer treatment to the sides of the engines. This is the second round of that in some cases. In some areas it wasn't. But anyhow, we're going to let all that cure up. And then I get to sand it. Check it again. I already know there's a couple of spots I need to do another pass on. But I should have all the seam work done on this by the weekend and start gluing together the major components. The missiles here, they need to be rescribed. Their panel lines rescribed, and they're done. So I've got 2 parts done. Some of these parts just need some light sanding to be done. We're getting there. I should be able to put paint on her next week. I'm here because I got seam filling done on Desslok's Command Cruiser. And I've also rescribed all the panel lines. I just want to show everyone one more time how I go about rescribing panel lines. Because for some people it's kind of difficult. And it was for me at first, and I figured out the best way to handle it. Alright, so here we got the panel line going across the tip of the nose. What I do is I get some of this stuff. It's called Dymo tape. D-Y-M-O. This is for a labeling machine. The labeling machine impacts the surface of the tape and puts letters in it, imprints letters in it, and then you just tape this on things. I take a piece of this Dymo tape and I line it up along the edge of what I want to be inscribed. I use dental picks for this because I get them cheap at Harbor Freight Tools and they work fairly well. Let me make sure that's lined up correctly before I do this. The Dymo tape acts as a hard edge for scribing, and I just run my dental pick along the Dymo tape. And one of the fun things about this is the Dymo tape acts as a hard edge. So I can lightly scribe and slowly build up the pressure so I get a nice clean scribe line. And that's how I did the line across there and the 2 lines here and here, as well as some of the lines across the bottom, the line there on the bottom. I did the same thing for the other various different parts of the ship. Okay? It takes a teeny bit of practice using that Dymo tape. It's not like the hardest thing in the world to work with. It's actually one of the easiest things I've come across for scribing panel lines. Up next, I get to glue her together. Finally, I get to put her all together. And then we can prime her and paint. So we're almost done with Desslok's. And I gotta be done because I'm supposed to be working on this guy, the Millennium Falcon. And I got half the cockpit scratched, but I need to get back to it. So my plan is to get Desslok's ready for a primer and then work on the Millennium Falcon. I want to get this ready for primer and then just work on the Millennium Falcon. This is close. The Brock Erie Cruiser is really close. That's a happy thought. I just got a little bit of seam work done and I can put the last parts on her and primer her. Alright, back later everyone. I'm working on Desslok's Command Cruiser. You can see I've put some stuff together. I made a few mistakes, noob mistakes, which doesn't surprise me much. You can see it right along there. I got a little too much glue in there. This part right here, I got a little too much glue around the edges of it too. I'll have to clean that up. I'm going to have to fix a seam or two as well because the seams didn't line up perfectly. But she's starting to look pretty good to me. Now, the main reason I'm here with the video isn't to show you guys little tiny mistakes I need to fix. It's to show you something I didn't catch. Alright? These parts, yeah, there's lots of molding lines that were not done properly. Lots of little divots in the parts that I'm going to have to come in here and do a lot of filling on. But once I get those divots filled, I'll be able to put her together the rest of the way. And then paint comes. So this thing will be ready for paint by the end of the day. That's a happy thought. Well, maybe not the end of today, the end of tomorrow. That's a happy thought. That means I can concentrate on other things. Alright, back in a little bit. Hello everyone, sorry for the obnoxious, too much. Sorry for the obnoxious camera angle. Got something going on over here and all we can have is this much on the video. Anyhow, I went ahead, powered through, and got this done. She needs a teeny bit of cleanup and then she'll be ready for paint. Alright, so let's get her over here a little bit and a bit of zoom so you guys can see her a little bit better. She doesn't sit well on the stand. I'm going to have to fix that, but there she is. I've got everything pretty symmetric. That was a pain. These antennae up here were a royal pain to glue on. They kept moving around on me. These are supposed to have locator pins and they do not. Neither one of those have locator pins. Just to let you guys know that if you ever decide to track this model down. And again, this is where she sits. I have a teeny bit of cleanup here and there and she'll be ready for paint. I'm going to let all the glue sit overnight before I touch it for my cleanup. But I just went ahead and powered through and finished her up. She needs to be cleaned up, washed, and painted. A teeny bit of seam filling here and there to take care of, but not much. Mainly the seam filling I've left right along there, and I have to do some touch-up sanding there and a few other places. There's one spot where I left a fingerprint on it right there. Okay, but you can see she's almost done, which is a good thing because now I can start working on the Millennium Falcon. That's why I was powering through this one, so I could get ready to work on the Millennium Falcon pretty exclusively. We're gonna get this one done this week too. Alright, back later.